guys are alone in the mess hall of the Mrs. Egg. What do you want to do with your day?
Lash wants to hit up that Urban Brawl game.
Hell yeah! You're going to see some sports.
Sports.
The Urban Brawl Arena, otherwise known as the Brawl Zone.
Welcome to the Brawl Zone.
Not my creation. That is what it is called in the book. Is on Highland Island, which is the same spot, the island that Yuri asked you guys to go sort out his, what did he say? Bug ghost?
Bug ghost?
Bug ghost?
Ghost bug.
To deal with his bug ghost problem. The easiest way to get there is via ferry, and there is a terminal for that on the west side, a little bit south of the Mrs. Egg. But you could go however you want.
Yeah, Lash is going to go via ferry. Is it within walking distance?
It is within walking distance.
Okay, Lash runs there.
As you approach, you can see all of the people who are obviously headed to today's brawl game. They are all wearing bright blue and green neon colors of the New York Slasher Bears. And some of them are holding up big foam hands that are gripping the very recognizable vibroblade dagger of Brawl Star player French expat Chance Dupois.
Chance Dupois.
This is someone who you would know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Lash loves Chance Dupois.
You get on the ferry?
Get on the ferry. I go immediately to check out the line at the food session area.
It's long, but it's always long. This is exactly what you expected.
Lash gets online.
Yeah, it's in the 25 minute ride that it takes to go from the Hudson River down south around Manhattan to the end of Highland Island where the Brawl Zone is. You do manage to get one soy hot dog? Yeah?
Yeah. You know, she knows she's gonna pound a couple when she hits the arena, but she wants to kind of get a starter, kind of like a starter coating on her stomach of some soy hot dogs.
You want to start with that good imitation sausage coating.
Yeah, the one that's on the ferry too, because you know that's primo.
So as Lash enjoys her hot dog, how would you guys feel about hearing a brief explanation about what the hell Urban Brawl is?
Yes.
I would.
Finally.
Okay.
Can we get like the Goofy cartoon tutorial? Wait. Did I make those up? No, we all know what I'm talking about, right?
Worked out and,
Yeah. Or he bought a car.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Wait,
So
no, I don't,
you're ready to buy a car.
Yes. You did it. Yes. Yeah. I love it.
It's just like that weird 1950s voice where it's like an Adam is telling you how to buy a car.
Sort of.
Or like
but
a man in a bad
Nick
hat.
did it pretty well.
Yeah. He's kind of the straight man. Like, he's never really recognizes the goofiness that's going on.
Yeah.
He's like,
Contraception.
Yes.
You know, that kind
Okay,
of
here, I'll try it. You let me know how I do. Urban Brawl is a 2-ball, rugby-like game with an origin in French street-level gang warfare. Am I close?
Nailing it.
You're nailing it. You're doing great.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Yes.
Over a few decades, it turned from a regimented way to settle turf wars to a multi-trillion-dollar industry with a global fandom and merchandise empire. Brawl is played on city streets in mostly abandoned neighborhoods, which means it's an additional stressor on any city's homeless population, who are sometimes paid a pittance for their trouble, but often simply told to scram. The game involves 2 goals on either side of the play area, which is normally a few square blocks. Teams try to get their ball into their opponent's goal. Games are in 4 30-minute periods, and there are very few rules. Each team has 1 motorcycle. Its driver is not allowed to score. There's no magic allowed. And technically, Urban Brawl players aren't supposed to kill one another, but networks know it's good for ratings. Urban Brawl is mostly watched via Trid, since watching the action live is difficult, impossible, or prohibited by law depending upon what state you're in. But New York is piloting a new program called Safety View, where Slasher Bears fans can buy seats in newly constructed, apparently indestructible, completely transparent structural plastic buildings placed in the midst of the Brawl Zone. All the ads for this season's games have an obnoxious male voiceover that repeats the league's curt and forceful Safety View slogan over and over again.
You gonna get blown up! You gonna get blown up!
That is,
Wow.
It's like the fucking the bounty hunters from Cowboy Bebop. That's it. That's
Yes.
Oh, get blown.
Is it BLOWNT?
Yeah, thank you so much. I feel seen, buddy.
Blown.
Sorry I called you a bitch earlier. I was listening. I know what accent's coming up, but I'm trying to get all the bad words out. I'm like washing it clean in my brain.
It's very hard to do. I mean, yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
That whole time I was thinking like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Lash, as the ferry approaches Highland Island and the port where you can get out and get immediately into the brawl zone, you hear from a distance, from the tinny speakers that line the zone, that very slogan played over and over again on top of a dense, chromed heavy metal beat. And you can see the large structural plastic buildings that are built that you are ostensibly going to watch the game from, glinting in the high August sun. The ferry docks. It unloads a mass of people. Everyone is fanning themselves as you disembark because it is so hot. And this is when you look out and you see a bunch of signs that say sold out, and you realize you did not buy a ticket.
Damn it. I meant to buy a ticket, but then I forget everything. Oh.
You also, if I remember correctly, don't have any money.
I also don't have any money. All right. This seems like a new system.
Looking around, you do see automated ticket kiosks, like ticket printing kiosks. They are showing the characteristic Urban Brawl ball, which is a 2-pound metal sphere, is ringed with icons of the implements of famous brawlers. You can wait a few minutes and one of those will become available. You can also see a customer service kiosk with a few very irritated-looking human men behind it. The line is slightly longer than the automated kiosks, but it's moving. Everyone in it looks very impatient and exasperated. You can also see a ticket checking booth on the far left edge of the paved pathway that leads to the safety view seats, and its attendant is leaning out of their box, excitedly talking to a tall, attractive elven man. And if you were to book it right now, and you were able to weave through everyone, you would get there in about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Lash knows that the smarter thing would be to hack and get a ticket, but she sees the challenge in front of her and decides, oh yeah, she's gonna run directly for that sweet open spot.
The first thing I'm going to ask you to roll is essentially an encounter die.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you to roll 1d6 to determine the level of challenge that you will face between here and there.
Cool. I rolled a 3.
Okay. What's your run speed?
Oh, I know this because it's on my thing.
In boat lanes.
In boat lanes?
The math on it was like 40 miles an hour, I think.
It
Run
was
movement,
cheetah
wait.
fast.
I think I have, in the actual calculation, I have 24. I
Okay.
don't know what that 24 means.
It's meters.
Okay.
Okay. You start booking it through the crowd, and you are weaving this way and that around people who have large beverages, some people who are double fisting double fairy dogs,
Yeah.
2 fairy dogs in
Wow.
each hand.
That's going to be a willpower test.
People, you're dodging foam hands and foam vibroblades. As you're dodging around one person and between another, a young, maybe like 20-something attractive woman steps kind of directly in your path and makes eye contact with you and says,
Hey, excuse me, could you take a picture of me and my friends?
and you look and you see a group of like 6 young women, all who are fully decked out in Slasher Bears uniforms.
We'll be so fast. We'll be so fast.
I already took one.
Email it to me.
Roll agility.
Okay. Agility is 6.
They all look like field hockey players.
2 hits.
As you try to as you run away, she attempts to step in front of you again to try to get you to actually take a picture, but she's not fast enough, and you just sneak behind her.
And I say, sort of out loud, Can't get me.
Sort of out loud.
Sort of out loud.
But then you also feel like a little ping on your like icon in the Matrix, your persona.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like when you get a DM from someone that you don't follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like it's like do you want to read this? And if you want to read it, it's like, could you actually send me that picture you took? And it's got her email address on it.
Oh my gosh. I will answer that later.
You approach, and the ticket checking attendant is still leaning out of their booth, talking to this tall, attractive elven man. And as you get closer, you realize that, like, yeah, this is a person that is worth ignoring your job to talk to.
Yeah.
They seem like they're having a good time having a conversation. Roll agility to just kind of like get through the turnstile, do a real quick, stylish hop or duck or however you want to do it. And they are going to just do a very low perception check to see if they notice you.
Rolling agility, and I got 3 hits.
These people are obviously in love.
Oh, that's so nice.
I don't know if they're coworkers or what, but like there is like some real chemistry that you can perceive as you slide on by.
And can I take a picture of my comm link of them as I slide on by?
Absolutely.
Because I'm kind of moved by it.
The picture that you get, because the sun is still rising, you get a sort of low sun in the background, cresting over this grassy hill, and it's placed directly between them. So it looks like where their faces are meeting, there's just a big aurora of happiness and love.
I love that.
You are now in a procession heading to the safety view building and seats. You're at this point starting to walk through the edge of the actual brawl zone, and it's a little like being in a movie set. You recognize some of these buildings from TV, and it's kind of weird to see them in real life. Like looking at the divots in the road and looking at the bullet holes in all of the buildings. It's like seeing something in a level of detail that makes it more real than you anticipated. Mm-hmm. And it's like, everybody's excited. Everybody's like really kind of thrilled. People are gawking and pointing at stuff, and, someone's pointing at a slash that's in one of the doors, and they're like, oh, that was the time that Chance did the thing with this vibro. It's pretty fucking cool. Did you see that one? That was, it was last season.
Cool. Lash goes over to one area of a wall that's like particularly beat up, and she wants to take a selfie in front of it.
Do it up.
She has a small little kind of like GoPro-y camera that she pulls out of her varsity jacket, and she takes a picture and she sends it to TK.
TK, you get a message that is Lash in front of what looks like a really large broken window. And part of the window frame is like chunked out, and it's got black like char and blast marks around it. She's got a giant smile on her face. There is no context provided.
TK double taps the message and sends a heart back.
Lash is happy with that response, and she takes
and then messages, cool window, bruh.
And then Lash says to herself, I knew he would get it. Puts her little selfie camera away and pulls out her blue Gatorade from her pocket that she obviously got through security because...
Obviously.
Yeah. And starts drinking it because it is very hot out.
It's very hot.
Hi, friends. It's Shannon here, if you couldn't guess. And I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon page. That's right, Fun City Patreon, where Fun City dreams are made. We have so much stuff on there. I mean, we have a whole other bi-weekly show where we discuss this show. We have Bone Cone bonus content. We have cut tape. I mean, we have pictures and videos of us in the studio, back when we could go to the studio. We have Patreon-only streams. I mean, and also you get access to our Discord where we chat about everything and anything. So if this all sounds great to you, check it out. Patreon.com/FunCityVentures. See you there. Yeah.
You are walking towards the safety view building, and you finally walk into it. It's very strange. It looks like it should be temporary, but it is clearly very sturdy. The material is, where it is not covered, very translucent. It is like looking through almost like a clear body of water. But the walls and many of the stairs are covered in a kind of like decal. It's almost a wallpaper. They're these plastic sticker runners with the Slasher Bear logos, the faces of many players, their weapons and their implements. And you go up a couple flights of stairs. Where do you want to go?
So Lash wants to get up pretty high because she thinks that's actually a better view. You can see more of the players and kind of like more of where people are situating themselves. So she goes as high up as she can.
As you go further and further up, the seats get nicer and nicer. There are fewer and fewer of them, and the docents that are standing on the other side of all of the doorways are both more attractive and nicer dressed. If you keep going, it is 8 stories tall. You can go as high as you want.
She goes up to the top floor.
There is a tall, attractive, blonde elfin woman there in a green and blue, like, I don't know how to describe this getup in a way that is not... She's wearing a very sexy dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like very chesty, and she's wearing a very short skirt, and it's very much, you can tell, catering to the clientele that sits in the section behind her, which is mostly large, sweaty men.
Right.
And she says, "Hi, ticket, please."
Oh, actually, I don't have one, but I should be on the list. Bryce Bammer, I think, has me on the list there.
Okay. She
Wow.
She reaches into a leather sort of like attaché case that's strapped around her waist and pulls out a small tablet, and she starts going through the list. She said, "And what did you say your name was?"
My name is my name Lash. My name's Lash.
Okay, she's scrolling. Is she gonna find your name here?
Lash is messaging Bryce right now. Can you put me on the list for today's Urban Brawl VIP room?
Do you you have him as a contact?
Yeah.
What is your loyalty and connection rating with Bryce Bammer?
It's a 5 and a 5.
Ooh,
It's pretty high.
Whoa.
This might
He's
actually
a
high.
good friend. We came up together in Urban Brawl.
Roll a d6 and don't roll a 1.
Okay.
Ooh, very close.
Very
Did you
close.
roll a 1?
You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
The docent is scrolling and scrolling. She has now scrolled well past the L's
Oh, no.
and back again. And she's starting to get this look on her face like, what am I going to do with this one? God damn it. I have to deal with enough already. I have to deal with this one. And she like doesn't want, you can tell she like doesn't want to have conflict around this. And so it's like sort of delaying a little bit. You send your message to Bryce, and it's like getting to be an uncomfortable amount of time where neither of you are saying anything to one another, until finally Bryce sends a message back to you, and the message just says, what does Bryce sound like?
He's like a jock.
The message just says, done.
You got good count on Bryce.
Then as soon as you get the message from him, she gets a little surprised look on her face, and she goes, oh, I don't know why I didn't see this the first time. Yeah, Lash. All it says here is just Lash.
Yeah, that's me. That's what I said my name was, right?
You know what? Okay. And she stands aside, and there is an empty seat at the very front, looking out over the brawl zone. And you are sitting between a very tiny, skinny man who's like maybe in his mid-80s. He's got really thinning white hair. He's got a pockmarked face, and he's wearing a suit that's too big for him. He is snoring very loudly.
Wow.
And on the other side of him is a large man in khakis and loafers with an untucked collared shirt and underneath it is just he's wearing like just a white crew neck shirt, and he looks very excited, like he's rubbing his hands together, and he's hype.
Lash goes to the excited guy. First Urban Brawl?
Who, me?
Yeah.
First Urban Brawl? I don't fucking think so. Who the fuck are you?
Lash.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
you must be a local.
Me? You know it.
Yeah.
He's got a surprisingly well manicured goatee.
Nice.
Yeah, you're one of those New York widows, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get your rear end kicked today, little missy. Let me tell you that.
Oh, and I see that you got Boston Massacre written all over your loafers.
I got it on my loafers and I got it in my heart. I bleed Boston Massacre
Yeah,
red.
I know.
He's spitting a little.
Well, you guys struggled a little bit in that brawl against the Canada Goose.
Ah, well, you look wicked hard. You never struggled before?
You know, New York team hasn't really struggled that much the past 2 seasons.
Their record has been very good, I will just say.
Well, that all ends today, little miss. Let me tell you that. That's over.
The massacre is on an upswing.
Well, you want to make it interesting?
You fucking know I do!
Ah!
The docent is turning around and looking at the man who's sleeping, and he does not react, so she doesn't bother you at all.
Yeah, let's make it interesting. What do you want to put on it?
Well, those loafers look pretty good.
Done. My loafers for what you gonna put in?
What's Lash wearing?
Lash is wearing her varsity jacket. She's wearing what she normally wears. So her varsity jacket, her big boots, big spiked boots. She has her little GoPro on her, but she also is holding about 4 Gatorades in her pocket. And she also has, let me just look at what I have. She's also holding she has her blowgun on her, as well as, she doesn't have much.
He probably doesn't see that.
Yeah, she has a blowgun on her. And she's also, what else does she have on her?
How about this? I lose, I gotta walk home barefoot.
Yeah.
You lose, I get that varsity jacket that you clearly love so much.
It would.
Damn.
He would not be able to fit an arm through the sleeve.
But I think it looked great on my little dog.
No.
Oh, not so wicked hot on now,
Yeah,
you local.
Lash-
Welcome to the massacre.
Lash, this is the hugest thing. Lash doesn't care about money, obviously, but she cares about her armored varsity jacket. It is the most prized possession of her. But the only thing she loves more than her varsity jacket is the New York Bear. What is it?
Slasher bears.
The New York Slasher Bears. She bleeds New York Slasher Bears. So she goes, bring it. And she takes the jacket off and throws it on the ground.
And he like does the thing where he takes his shoes off with his feet, and he kicks them down. And you can smell it immediately.
Yeah.
But he kicks them right over by the jacket.
As you do this, the horn signifying the beginning of the first period sounds, and you see the players of each team come out into the central playing area where they all sort of like bump fists at the beginning and then run off in their separate ways before they begin the massacre, as it were. So everybody's down on the ground. You can see 2 motorcycles circling either way.
Sully, the game's starting. Sully, wake up.
The guy on the other side of you like stirs lightly and opens an eye, and then he settles back down.
You know this guy?
No, we met when we came in.
Nice.
He took a bunch of pills, and now he's sitting there sleeping.
Not the way I would enjoy an Urban Brawl game, but to each his own.
To each his own, and now the die is cast.
And so over the next 30 minutes, you hear various rounds of gunfire. You see flamethrowers, both up close and in the distance, lighting up various empty buildings in this part of Highland Island. You see a flaming motorcycle drive by the main area that's right in front of you.
If they blow up that old middle school, I'll give you the last chicken wing.
He is eating some soy chicken wings.
You're on.
He had them delivered by someone from downstairs about 15 minutes ago. You see a particularly good fist fight between two players that have two bionic arms, and it is like so good it almost looks choreographed. Like everyone is cheering and shouting because it's like a little condensed version of the whole match itself. These two like huge dudes with shiny metal arms just duking it out, going
Get him,
punch for punch.
Jerry! Get him! No one punches like Jerry.
You see a lot of stuff that happens out of view, and so you watch it from these monitors that are hung from the ceiling. There are these camera drones that are flying around. You see Chance Dupont. Really, like he takes out the competing motorcycle with a very, very choice backflip vibroblade strike. It looks balletic.
That's his specialty.
That's bad for you.
Yeah, all right. That's your French boy.
You see that?
That's your French boy. Chance
Yeah.
to pee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! I called your boy Pee Pee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sully,
I'm
wake
sorry.
up! I called the locals boy to Pee Pee.
Call him whatever you want.
The Pee Pee.
Your guy can't call anyone anything because he's out.
He's in heaven now.
He's not dead.
Is he not?
He's just out, right?
See, these new rules, they make the game so much less exciting.
At the end of the second quarter, the Boston Massacre mounted rider, the Boston Massacre motorcycle, drives by the area that you are directly in front of, and it is unpursued. There is no one in front of it. There is no one behind it, but out of nowhere, it just explodes, sending its rider flying into the third story of a building across the street.
Oh.
Little Paul Revere! Little Paul Revere!
Oh, that's going to leave a dent.
You can't tell if it was, there's not a lot of decking because it's too fiddly for the play, but like there was no one around, like maybe someone planted some explosives, but it was a very silent, very deadly play.
Oh, that's going to be on the replays. You know it.
I swear to God, I bet you freaks got some magic used up in the stands.
No
Hitting
way.
Yes,
They're
you do.
clean.
That's
They play clean. Don't you dare.
They play clean.
We play clean. I
All
don't know
right.
about you guys over there after that whole big scandal deflating my motorcycle tires.
That was an honest mistake. That was a misreading of the rules. We have Murder Ball Dynasty, and how dare you say such a thing to me?
At halftime, everybody clears the brawl zone. They clean up some of the detritus and some of the blood, and they fly in a large jumbotron, and a woman with a long, like, comically large microphone steps out, and she announces that it is time for the audience to get their brawl on, that they're going to select at random a Slasher Bears fan that is going to have a chance to attempt to score on New York's own Slasher Bears, Chance Dupont specifically.
I hope it's you.
I hope it's me.
I hope it's you, and he cuts your arms off your body.
My God. You would love to see that. You would love
I
that.
just said it. I just brought it up, of course.
You would love that. If that does happen, I would love a picture.
I will take a picture of that. You
can video
fucking
that.
know it. Yes.
You can video that.
That would be wicked fucking hard.
Yeah.
If you get your arms ripped off, I'm taking a picture.
Yeah, please do.
You get a message on your comlink
I check my comlink.
from Bryce Bammer.
Oh, Bryce.
And the message just says, lol.
Oh,
And it
no.
is at this moment that you hear 8E. Who is in 8E?
Oh my fucking God.
Lash checks under a seat.
You are sitting in seat 8E.
Oh, Bryce, you dirty dog.
I like the feeling that Bryce Bammer is just God in this scenario.
Yeah.
He's just intervening left and right
Yeah.
benevolently.
Lash, yeah, what's his name? The guy next to me?
Not Sully's friend.
Sully's friend looks directly at Sully's
Let's be
friend.
honest. His name is either Chris,
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah.
Patrick, or Joseph.
Yeah. She looks directly at Patrick. You better be recording this thing. And she runs towards the exit to get down there.
His friends either call him Sully, Tiny, Mikey,
Yeah.
or for some reason, Steve-O, even though that's a guy that exists.
Oh.
You run downstairs, and the docents are very proud. They are very happy for you. They're applauding. And as you go down the stairs, you hear people excited that they know that you're in this building.
Yeah.
And you leave, and you go back out onto the street that you saw when you came in. It's been cleared, and the woman who was doing the announcement is standing there with her comically large microphone in one hand and a steel ball in the other hand. And she gives you a very grave look, and she says, "Do you absolve the slasher bears from any bodily harm that may come to you in the participation of this endeavor?"
Now and forever.
You better! She hands you the ball. She puts her weight into it because it's very heavy. Hands it to you.
Yeah.
You get it. It's a big steel ball.
Yeah.
She gestures towards the open roadway, and as you walk away, she says, "Wait, what's your name?"
Lash.
Okay. She holds up her microphone and she says, "Everybody, welcome, Lash!" And you hear the muffled applause from the Safety View building.
Yeah. So Lash is so excited. This isn't her first time on an Urban Brawl arena. I mean, she did play it in high school. It's a very scaled down version for high schoolers playing. No one really dies, which she really didn't really like about it.
And people would understand, there are arena Urban Brawl games. They're just considered less cool.
Right,
Because
exactly.
it's recreation, urban environments, and one of the very strictly enforced rules is you can't kill anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's never been out on this arena, the professional urban arena, or not arena, what is it called?
The Brawl Zone.
The Brawl Zone. She's never been out on the Brawl Zone, so she's super excited.
You see two Urban Brawl players from the Slasher Bears, Chance Dupont and hold on, let me generate a name.
Chance, what is it? Chance.
Chance Dupont.
DuPont.
Chance
Chance
Dupont.
Depuis.
Chance.
It is Chance Dupont and Heimer Thoresen. Heimer Thoresen. They do not have their implements on them. Chance does not have his vibroblade. Heimer does not have his hammer.
Thank God.
And they are behind them. Some production assistants basically are pulling in the surprisingly small Urban Brawl goal. And they're just standing there, sort of heaving, hulking dudes in these giant spiked pads with big helmets with metal grates on the front. And they're wordlessly sitting there. And behind you, sort of it's dull noise. You just barely perceive that this woman with the microphone is describing what you're going to have to do. And you're just going to have to somehow get the ball into the goal. And then you hear a loud hunk.
Okay, what's between me and the goal?
The goal, you are standing on the ground.
Yeah.
The goal is on the ground.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 feet in front of you are two large men standing side by side, and about 30 feet behind them is the goal.
Is there anything any kind of structure or anything that I could jump off of?
There is a burned out building about 10 feet to your left, and there is the Safety View building about 50 feet to your right.
Okay.
And there is a kind of a weird graded, a weird metal guard tower kind of thing, probably 25 feet behind you.
So the idea of the two men is that they're gonna run at me, or they're gonna try to attack me.
It's gonna happen soon.
It's gonna attack. Okay, so as soon as Lash hears the horn, she immediately starts running towards that metal guard tower thing.
Behind you, you're running away from them.
I'm running away from them.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get them to scatter away from the goal.
Okay. You break away. You do something that they do this every game.
Yeah.
Or at least they provide the opportunity every game. Most people don't take it.
Yeah.
So this is very fun for everybody that a citizen is here and that they are actually going to try to score a goal against the brawlers. And you, on top of doing something that they almost never see, you do another thing that they never see, and you run in the opposite direction, and they chase after you.
Well, so she's running full speed. And this building, does it have any kind of surface that she could climb, or is it just a metal guard tower?
Yeah, so it's like the fire watch towers that are in parks, if you know these. It's a crisscross of metal supports with a very steep ladder with a little house on the top of it that has a roof and a 360 lookout. And inside of it, you can see that there is a camera crew up at the top. But at the bottom, it's like metal supports and legs and a tall ladder.
So basically, essentially what Lash is trying to do is she's trying to run them towards in this direction, climb up, and then once they get to her, she's gonna jump off, and she's just acting on her speed, and is going to try to run the other direction.
You wanna run up the guard tower and then jump off of it to the and then go over their heads.
Over their heads, yeah.
Okay.
And the whole idea is to get them out, and then so she can jump over them, and they're never gonna catch it. Her idea is they're never gonna catch up.
Roll those gymnastics.
Yay!
All right.
Cool. Great. So for gymnastics,
They are going to roll their reaction plus intuition. I would just like to reiterate, they are world-class athletes.
Lash, 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 lash.
Okay.
Lash, lash.
I'm gonna roll 12. Lash is rolling 12. She only got 3 hits though.
Oh, fuck.
Edge.
Right.
Okay.
It's per session, so take it if you want.
Heimer Thoresen,
Oh, Jesus.
they roll 17 dice.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
He rolled a lot of ones.
Yeah, I did not do very well.
Oh.
No way, dude.
Glitch? No.
It looks pretty bad, though.
Not a glitch, but just
Close.
barely not a glitch.
Very.
Heimer Thoresen, you sail over his head, and he does a very high jump. He squats down and puts everything he can into it. But maybe it's that he's so used to having his hammer and using that to close that final distance to take someone down, but he just doesn't go high enough. And he tries to grab at your head as you backflip over him, and he just misses. Chance du point.
Oh, my goodness.
Not gonna get too good. Yeah.
You never know.
Gotta believe.
Except that doesn't look good from afar.
Good for him.
3 hits. Maybe 2 hits.
Wow, these guys are having a bad day.
These are
2
terrible
hits.
rolls for 14.
Oh, my gosh.
Got 3.
Really?
Well,
How many successes did you get?
3.
Holy shit.
Tie goes to the runner.
Lash, lash.
Literal runner. Okay.
Lash.
Chance Dupont knows this about himself. He doesn't have the ups. He can't reach you. He's not going to be able to grab you. So you sail over him. Instead of trying to jump, he just turns around and he starts chasing after you as soon as you land. Heimer is pounding his fists against the pavement. He's like, I fucked you up. I can't believe I did. Some little girl. But you're booking it and you have a good lead. But Chance is right on your tail.
Right.
Roll your agility.
Roll my agility again. Okay. Again, rolling 12. Still 3
So
hits.
excited for this.
How do I keep getting 3 hits?
Just roll. Well, unless you do you have a sprinting skill?
Oh wait, I should be rolling running.
Yeah, you have a lot of die for
then
that.
Then roll running.
Okay, because the other one was gymnastics because it was a flip, but running is actually it's less, but so I'm rolling 10 for running.
Yeah, they're also rolling slightly less.
But I got 5 hits.
He also.
Let's go.
Nice.
Come on, let Lash live out her glory days.
I think she might.
How many? You got 5 hits?
Yeah.
They are really having a day.
Yeah, well, they're probably not expecting that they have to interact with a fan.
Chance is on your heels. You can hear his very heavy footfalls and his really like complicated, heavy, buckled metal, plastic gear, all of his armor clanking as he's trying to catch up to you. And you can feel at the small of your back the air as his hand tries to swipe at your shirt. He's just trying to grab you and he misses. You're within 1 league of getting to the goal.
Yeah.
I think at this point it would occur to you that you have 2 options.
Yeah.
You can risk it. You could try to throw it in.
Right.
And like that's going to be a little bit harder because you're like slightly far away.
Right.
Or you could keep running.
Lash is going to keep running.
Okay. Roll running again.
Okay. Lash. 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 Oof. I only got 1 hit.
Oof.
Not good.
Not good. He still didn't roll great, but at least
He's got you.
People are like banging on the safety glass.
But we all have a saving grace.
He got 4 hits.
Yeah.
So he like puts on the afterburners.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not fucking around anymore. Like, whoa, this person is a real athlete. So I actually have to play this game. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to have to go easy on them. And you feel like just giant hands and like very strong arms kind of just like bear hug you from behind. And you are falling to the ground. It's like in slow motion. You are falling to the ground as this giant man has just leapt and tackled you from behind.
So Lash's instincts from playing this game, years of playing this game, kick in. As she's being tackled, she does a last-ditch effort to try to throw it into the goal.
So we can do this one of 2 ways.
Whoa.
You can roll for it.
Yeah.
Or you, Shannon, can throw something into something else in the studio. Which one do you feel is more fair?
I mean, the more fun thing is for me to throw something into something, but I'm so bad at spatial awareness.
I don't know. I think that'd be great for an audio medium.
Right? That someone no one can see.
We should do this for a stream, by the way. Just like
Sure.
throwing things into other things.
What do you guys think I should do?
You should roll. I think you should roll.
Whatever you want to do.
I'm curious. I just want to see you throw something into something. But yeah, rolling would be smarter.
Yeah.
Roll your if you're gonna roll.
Yeah.
I would ask you to roll your agility modified by natural athlete and nothing else.
So that would be rolling an 8 versus me trying to throw something into something.
And I'm going to say that this would be this is not extremely difficult.
Okay.
So I would want you to beat 2.
Okay.
Which means I would want you to get 3 or more.
Okay. And what's the thing I would need to throw, just so I can scale it?
You are gonna what's the object?
Yeah. And where would I need to throw it?
You are gonna need. There's a 2.5, 3 pound steel ball in your hand.
No. I mean, if I'm to take that option,
I would ask in real life.
Yeah, in real life, what would I have to throw?
I would ask you to throw a single D6
Yeah.
into this ceramic cup that I will hold over here in the corner.
no.
Would I be able to do that?
That's really hard.
That's super hard.
I think even if she hits it, she gets it. Because I don't know if it'll bounce out.
I got 2 out of 3 just
I
now.
would count bouncing out. I would count as in.
Wait, let me just see what throwing a dice is. Just like one practice.
Oh, I think you could do it.
If you had taken it, you would have
Yeah.
won.
I think you could do it.
Okay,
It's gotta be the
let's
white
do
thing.
that.
It's gotta be the white thing.
Okay.
Oh, Mike, that's so hard.
Is this what you're gonna do?
Okay, I'm gonna do the throw thing.
God.
It's such a stupid
This
idea.
is wicked hard.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. This is like at a carnival when you have to throw the things into the thing.
I'm holding a brown ceramic bowl at a distance that is about 6 feet from Shannon.
I'm so nervous. I wasn't this nervous for the SATs. Okay.
You got massacred.
How many points of agility does Lash have?
I have 6 points of agility plus 2 natural athlete.
I'm gonna let you throw 1 more.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Oh my
That
god.
was practice in her mind.
Got this. You got this.
It fell off my hands.
Yeah.
I think we should make Viv do this every time she casts a spell.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I deserve the fail.
This is a Lash move for you to go for this, though, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
For staying true to character.
It's okay.
You tell me what happens.
So Lash, she She knows from her years of Urban Brawl that as you're being tackled, you have to do a last ditch throw for the goal because, there's nothing else to do. So she does this, though it's her arm is so used to throwing foam balls right now. She's going to blame this on Luxe later. That the weight of the ball, she just doesn't quite have it right. So she throws it with a little bit too much force because she's used to trying to get those foam balls to go and hit off the wall. And in that, it just clearly just like overshoots the goal.
You hear from the crowd, from the muffled sounds from inside the safety view building.
Oh.
You get back upstairs after you get congratulated by Chance and Heimer after the woman with the comically large microphone gives you a look like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. You walk dejectedly, I assume,
Yeah.
back up the stairs.
Dejectedly, but she's also kind of proud of herself because, she's been out of it for a while. And she knows that if she stuck with it, she could have she just knows in her heart she could have made it here, but she decided to have a different life and kind of quit that Urban Brawl route. And it kind of was nice, but she has this feeling of you know what? I'm glad I made the choice I did.
Maybe it's good that this is something that you can't do on command anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
You enter into your box. You see your seat. You're back in 8E. And you see your jacket piled up on the floor next to some shoes.
And he's not there.
He's not there.
Nope, written in buffalo sauce on the window. I hope these loafers, and it's in the accent. It's Loafahs.
Loafers.
I hope these loafers treat you as well as they treated me.
Wow.
Wicked good.
Oh.
Wow.
You watch the remaining 2 periods by yourself. The Slasher Bears win.
Yay! It's all
Slasher
worth
Bells!
it. Wow, Lash's the shoes will definitely not fit Lash.
No, they're very big.
I think they're probably very small.
Oh, are they? Oh, yeah, that's right, because
I'm an orc.
you're built.
She knows they're not gonna fit her, but she thinks I'm gonna give these to Luxe.
The last person who wants these grubby, disgusting shoes.
You are now leaving Fun City. The team's day off will continue on Thursday, July 2nd with TK. Thank you for listening. If you want to support the show, get access to bonus one-off episodes, our bi-weekly post-episode chat show Fun Chatty, and our Discord, head on over to patreon.com/Fun City Ventures. And of course, thanks to all of our current patrons for help keeping this ship afloat. We'd also love it if you told your pals about the show, shared it on social media, drew us some fan art, gave us a rating on iTunes, or just came by to say hey on Twitter.
I'm Bijan Steven, and I am TK. You can find me online at Bijan Steven on Twitter, which is BIJANSTEPHEN, or on Instagram, and you should just Google that.
I'm Jen De La Vega. I am Viv. You can find me online at Randwiches. That's the word sandwiches, but just replace the S with an R.
This is Nick Guercio. I play Luxe Scythe. You can find me on Twitter at NGUERSH and Instagram at NGuercio, GUERCIO.
This is Shannon Odell. I play Lash Goodbog. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Shodell, SHODELL.
This is Taylor Moore, and I play all the bad boys. I'm at Taylor.biz.
My name is Mike Rugnetta. I am your GM. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Rugnetta. You can find the show on Twitter and Instagram at Fun City Ventures. Fun City was recorded at Fortunate Horse in beautiful Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It was produced, edited, and sound designed by me, Mike Rugnetta. Pixlriffs was the guy with the double fairy dogs. Fun City's music is by Sam Tyndall. Our art is by Tess Stone. Our Discord mods are Olivia Goulin, Kit, and Kestrel, and the voice of Artemis is Molly Templeton.